The advice and opinions expressed by Dr. Grandpiche and her guests are meant solely as suggestion and should not be in any way construed as child-specific advice.
Dr. Doreen Grandpiche is
Dr. Doreen is an expert in autism.
Doreen Grandpiche.
Dr. Grandpiche.
Dr. Doreen Grandpiche.
Dr. Doreen Grandpiche is a visionary in the field of autism. Now you can ask her questions on Ask Dr. Doreen.
This is a great one, Dr. Grandpiche. I'm very excited because for the first time, my nephew is coming for Christmas holidays. He is 5 now and was diagnosed with autism at the age of 3. My sister-in-law is amazing. He gets all the services and he's doing really well. He is talking and just doing great. At least that's what I'm told. We live in New York. He lives in California. So I haven't seen him since he was a baby. Here is my question. How can this is going to make me cry. How can I be the best possible aunt to this child who means the world to me? What do I need to know to create a safe space for him in my home? What kinds of activities should I have planned? And what do I need to avoid doing and saying so he has a really good time while visiting? How heartwarming is that?
That's beautiful. I love that. So you should probably get a whole bunch of your questions answered by your sister. I think it's sister, right?
Sister-in-law.
Yeah. A sister-in-law ahead of time. So the family in general ahead of time before this child comes, because children are so different children on the spectrum are so different. And the environment that you produce for this child will really needs to be individualized. So you'll start by asking, I would probably, well, first of all, you need to have an idea of the child's ability to communicate. So, is the child vocal, and can you actually have a conversation, like really understand the child so that you have a level of comfort in terms of how you are going to communicate and interact with the child, right? So just getting an idea of what the child's abilities are. So that's number one. Number two, I think very, very, very important is what are the child's sensory sensitivities? So sometimes the kids are not doing very well if it's too noisy of an environment. You'll need to set up for the child a little kind of cozy corner or room where the child can go and calm down or relax. Does the child like things like music, maybe a big bean bag, where some place which is their little area? What are the things they like? That's kind of number 3, which is the reinforcers in the child's life, right? Do they like musical toys, or do they get hyper stimulated with musical toys? Because you get them like a stuffed animal or something in that corner that makes them feel very like this is my little area. I think it's really important. The biggest challenge I think our kids have when they travel to new places, even when they go to new places, is just the sensory aspect. And we tend to overlook that. It's, sound obviously is one of the things, but also visual things in the environment. Just going into let's say a kitchen that has, fluorescent lighting or some other type of lighting might disturb the child. Ceiling fans might distract the child. Like, you really just need to understand the child's sensitivities. Going from one temperature to another. I mean, don't take for granted that some of our kids have a very hard time with texture on their skin. So maybe, I don't even know if this child is comfortable wearing a heavy jacket because he's coming to New York and it's a lot colder. Like, you got to think about all these types of things as you produce the environment. And so sensory issues, reinforcers, like, you really, really need to have a good idea of what are the things that are reinforcing to this child. And it goes back to what we were talking about earlier, which is the best thing I think we do for our kids, on the spectrum or not, it doesn't matter, to give them an enriched environment, is to give them an environment where they're not left alone. And sometimes when we're getting together with a family and so on, we're too busy and we tend to say, just go. And if you're able to have a at least part of the day, as much of the day as possible, scheduled so that there's a person who is interacting with the child and engaging them in activities and games that are at the level of the child and interesting to the child. So some kids are never going to be interested in machines or construction, and other kids, that's all they want to do. Some kids like drawing and coloring, other kids will like musical instruments. So really getting a better understanding of what your nephew, right? Not
Yeah.
nephew, what your nephew is into, I think is the best thing you can do. I love to just pair myself with reinforcers when I first meet a child. So don't feel like you are overwhelming them. In fact, the first entire day, you could just be doing fun things and then gradually bringing in more natural things, things that are happening in the environment. But I think as long as you have reinforcing activities, you keep the child engaged and enriched, and you are very aware of the sensory issues, you can't go wrong.
Don't forget, you can watch Ask Dr. Doreen live every Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific time. We hope to see you there.